Welcome to Roots to Sprouts. I'm very happy to meet you all in another video like this. You all know that we have been posting videos like how to take care of your plants and what are the tips that will keep your plants healthy. This is one such video I'm posting today. It's all about betel leaf. I'm sure most of you are aware of the betel leaf or pond leaf. This is one of the tropical plant that many Asian country people grow to use for multiple reasons. In this video, we are going to see how to take care of this plant and how frequently you need to clear the roots and repot them to avoid too much crowd in a pot if you're growing in a pot. Let's get into the video. I'm sure this video will help you to maintain your betel plants. This betel plant that you see in this video, it's little over 8 years. We started growing this plant in our apartment in the balcony. It is an evergreen perennial plant if you are in a tropical country. If you are not in a tropical country, then it is a perennial, but you have to move the plant indoor during the winter because the winter frost can damage the plant but not the roots. To avoid overcrowd, we repot the betel leaf plants every 2 years. So what we do is we take the plants completely off the pot and we clear the roots. As you see in this video, we wash it really well so that we can separate the roots. It's not too crowded, and we make separate branches from the roots. You can multiply the plant from one mother plant into many small plants. It is easy to stabilize because when you separate, it already has the root for the plant to stabilize and grow quickly. So we do that every 2 years once, as you see in this video. And when you repot them in a new container or a pot that you're planning to repot, make sure the soil is loose and it is rich. Okay, and it should be like a well-drained soil. The plant doesn't survive when it staggers too much of water, or it cannot survive in a direct full sunlight. It should be kept under a partial shade, partial sunlight in a day, maybe maximum 4 to 6 hours sunlight that it can get in a day. As I said earlier, betel leaf plants are perennial creeper and it climbs in a vertical direction. So try to give a post or a support that it can climb around and get vertically. That's the reason mostly you see in a tropical countries, it is a very good ground cover under the trees because these creepers try to climb the trees and it covers the entire body of the tree, the trunk, the branches everywhere, and it gets a very nice shade for the plants to grow. Here are some reference pictures to show how these betel creepers grows vertically, no matter whether it is a support that you provide or it naturally climbs on a tree. There are many ways that you can grow the betel leaf plants. Number 1, from the seed, which is the most difficult way to grow the plant. Number 2, you can go and just buy it from a nursery shop. That's the most easiest way. Number 3 is from the cutting. In this method, you can directly take the cutting from your existing plant and remove the leaves and keep the cutting in a water bottle near to the sunlight, near the window or somewhere, so that you can see the roots coming out of the cutting. Once you see that, you can plant them into the pot or in a small container where you have a rich soil, a well-drained soil. The last method is like what we did. You can repot it and you can separate the plant from the mother plant with the root and you can multiply that into many plants. These are all the different ways you can try to grow your betel leaf plants. After separating and repotting the betel leaf plants, in few weeks maybe around 3 to 4 weeks, we saw the shoots coming up and it started climbing in the support what we gave in the pot. A month later, we saw this plant really grown well and we added additional support for the leaves to climb. Because the sticks what with support we have given, it was not sufficient or not enough for the multiple climbers to get hold and to climb on it. So what we did, that was like a chicken wire or something like that, you can take and you can wrap it around the support what you have given to the plants to grow, so that you are not disturbing and taking off the support, but you are giving an additional support to your plant. A frequent check and a regular maintenance can keep your betel leaf plant really healthy. What does it mean? Besides the natural medicinal characteristics in this betel leaf plant, you will still see there are many insects that can attack these plants. For example, there are insects like scale, yellow mites, shoot bugs, aphids, mealybugs, like that. The list goes on. In order to keep them under control, you can simply apply the 3G solution or a neem oil, things like that, which is very natural and organic, not a chemical mixed pest control. As I said, we don't live in a tropical country, so we have to move these plants indoor in order to protect them. Even though the plants don't die in the frost, we don't want to take a risk, so we move them indoor. We converted our single car garage as an indoor garden. So we kept a grow light, humidifier, heater, and it is temperature controlled room, so that doesn't matter how the temperature drops outside, the temperature inside this particular room always maintained for the tropical plants to grow. So this is the plant that you saw so healthy and green few months back. During the winter, this is what happens. But as I said, it never dies. The stems are still active, it will still produce leaves, but you have to keep it indoor in order to safeguard them. Post winter, during the early spring like March April time, when we move these plants outside from the garage, you can really see the new leaves and the shoots are coming out from the plant that we kept in the dormant state for several months. That tells the indication that the plants are still alive and it needs some maintenance. So I said earlier, like every 2 years once, we try to repot in order to get the roots more stable and not get too crowded in a pot, right? The second thing what we also do is to clear the dead branches and the dry leaves every year after the winter. By doing this, you are doing two things. One is you are improving the ventilation and the air circulation for the root system. Because of this approach, the root system really sends more energy for the shoots to grow and it keeps the plants more healthy in the upcoming season. No, it's a tedious and time consuming process, but it's worth doing when you see the result after you do this kind of maintenance once in a year. And I'm telling you, the more you take care of your plants, you will be happy with the result. That's what happens to me every year, especially with the tropical plants. Okay, besides clearing these dead branches and the dry leaves, what else we need to do before the season starts? For example, do we need to add any fertilizer? Do we need to add any plant food for these plants to grow healthy in order to get more nutrition for the root system? Let's see what is that we need to add. we just add worm casting to this particular plant, because adding organic matter is the most important thing that you can do to the plants, because it is not just adding the organic matters, it increases the population of microorganisms in the soil. It increases the soil aeration, it increases the soil pH, it reduces the soil erosions. There are multiple benefits of adding worm casting to your soil. That is one reason why we just add worm casting to this plant, and we top up with some new like potting soil that you can get in any good nursery or in Home Depot or Lowe's, which is an organic like a potting mix. You can add that on top of the worm casting. And finally, if you see any dead ends like this in your branches, just cut them off, because there's no point in keeping these dead dried stem at the tip of your plant. So try to see these kind of stuffs around your plant somewhere and just take care of them as a last step of this maintenance process. As a recap of this video, there are 3 things we have been doing continuously. Number 1, every 2 years we need to repot when you grow any tropical plants in a container to avoid overcrowded and root bounding. Number 2, try to maintain the plants and clear the dead branches and the dry leaves within the pot so that it gets clear ventilation and air circulation for the roots. Number 3, add some fertilizer and top up with an organic potting mix so that it gets rich nutrients and organic matters in your soil. So when we do this 3, I'm sure your plants are going to be really healthy. You are seeing now the video that has been taken very recently after doing that maintenance. You can see how rich and healthy this betel plant is looking now, and look at the size of each leaf. I love this size because this is what I was expecting the plants to produce, and that's exactly happened now. So as I said, it's definitely a time consuming process for you to do, but the results definitely won't disappoint you. I hope you like this video. Please leave your comment or any questions in the comment section. We'll answer your question. I will talk to you in another different video. I hope you enjoyed this one. Take care. Bye bye.